Welcome back to Books, Business, and Bullshit. We are sitting here with Rock. Rock, I want you to introduce yourself for those that don't know. Tell us briefly about like what you're doing in the community, your personal life, like just a little, whatever you decide to share.
I teach the game of chess and I teach how it applies to life in different ways. My target demographic is at-risk youth, so I can relate to them more. So that's why my message is typically tailored towards them. And my professional life, I manage an IT team at the University of Penn, and it's pretty much. Oh, and I manage rap artists. So it's pretty much what I am.
So we were discussing Quavo and Sweetie, right? Today we want to discuss more so the elevator scene. Crystal, you briefly watched it. Feel free to chime in. But Rock, I want to know, like, what did you get from the elevator scene?
Well, I think naturally they both were wrong. It was a physical altercation, so it's like, there's more context to that. But I will say, as a man, he got to know better to do that. Like, he can't do that. So that absolutely he was wrong. It's no question. That's like an easy question.
You say he was wrong for slamming her down?
Yeah. Even though he was defending himself and he didn't
He didn't do it. He just slammed her down just to get away.
I don't feel like he was wrong though.
No, this what I'll say. Is context to the situation. It's probably something else.
Right.
Like it was other things involved in that. So that's why it's like they both was at fault.
Right.
But him being a man, I'm going. Naturally you're going to get the blame. So it's like you got to know better than do that. Especially in an elevator where it's like
cameras,
that's what I meant by he has to know better than do that.
Yeah, self-control. But for me, Crystal, I was discussing. I told my daughter, I'm like, for me, like being a woman, being a black woman, raising male and females, I noticed that, some females feel as though it's appropriate to physically harm men. And as I became an adult, I realized I don't want to be hit, so I will keep my hands to myself. So I don't feel as though it's appropriate to physically touch a man because we teach men not to hit a woman. Had he punched her, in my defense, he would have been totally wrong. If he punched her, I would have been like, oh, he's a straight nut. But he tried to get what belongs to him, and in the process, he's physically stronger. He got thrown down.
Is that why he was trying to snatch the bag?
He was. So she swung on him. He ducked. Right, we seen that in the video. She swung.
Oh, I didn't see all that.
He ducked. The bag was. It obviously had to be his bag. It was sitting in between the elevator doors. She grabbed when she swung because she was trying to get him away from the bag. When she swung and he ducked and like backed up, she thought she could grab the bag and run. And he grabbed the bag, and in the midst of that, she got slung.
All right.
I don't feel as though he was wrong because I feel like I would rather my if a woman is trying to physically harm you, push her down. Hold her off. It's like you damned if you do, damned if you don't. If he would have punched it, he would have been totally wrong. If he would have smacked it, he would have been wrong. What do you do in that case when you're a man and you got a woman coming at you trying to physically harm you? Because I have seen women physically harm men. So I don't feel as though he was wrong.
I don't think he's wrong either. I think what you just said, he didn't do nothing.
If he would have punched her, though, he would have been out of pocket.
Yeah.
If he
didn't punch her. No, he just tried to protect his stuff. He tried to get out the situation. He tried to get out.
So the females on social media are saying Quavo was wrong in the comment section.
Well, that's the feminists.
Right.
They don't.
But they're
nothing men can do.
They're like he's abusive. He seen she was hurt and he just stood there. I would have stood there too,
But honestly, how do they know she's hurting?
Right. How you know she's not putting on, how you
it's on camera. She probably smart enough to know in the public elevator.
Exactly.
But that also
he noticed it too. He noticed the camera.
That also leads to it probably was just a toxic relationship to begin with. Like I'm sure this is not the first time. This is a public setting. You imagine what goes on in private.
Right.
So it's like that's why just saying who's right and wrong is like there's more context to this whole thing that we don't
publicly come out. She publicly came out and said that video was over a year ago.
Right.
We know that they recently broke up,
so
she did go back.
Right.
But I think what happened was, you know how it go. We're not celebrities, but can you imagine? I'm going through it with my boyfriend, and then it was public. We broke up. He cheated, but somebody know that they got that elevator video. So now I'm ready to sell it to the tabloid. So that's why I got leaked, because now it's worth something. Because we was just, because they're trending.
That's a fact.
So they publicly broke up. They're big celebrities. They A-list celebrities by all means. So they publicly broke up. So somebody released that video Sweetie
Question.
publicly said it was a year old.
Did that come out after they broke? That
That
came out after they broke up. Oh, okay.
That
Yeah,
came
no,
out
that was,
after they broke
that was
up.
somebody taking advantage of the
Right,
moment.
taking advantage of the situation.
But let me ask you a question about that. When people do that, they call themselves exposing the man. You just put this lady, and I guess this is, I don't know, we ready to go to Derrick Jackson, but that's a perfect segue to that. It's like you publicly embarrassing this lady for your own gain, but all the while acting like you pointing the blame at him.
Right, because
like
it backfired on both of them. So some people say a
Like,
person
she don't
like
look
me,
good in that video.
right? Because now my daughter told me about the video. What Shade Room put out, it was just a small clip. All you seen was them struggling in the elevator, and it looked like Quavo was manhandling them. My daughter showed me the longer version that's on Twitter. And I had to realize, I said, oh, they did that. My daughter was like, why did they only show this part? They intentionally cut it. But they Shade Room, so they do stuff to be shady.
Yeah, everybody
right?
has their narrative.
Exactly. When I watched the full episode and I seen she physically tried to swing on him, first off, like I told my daughter, you can't physically beat him. You're not physically stronger than a man. Not to say you can't beat him or you can't hurt him or you can't pick up stuff, but ultimately, we're not physically stronger than a man. My son 14 and he strong. Like when we playing, I be like, God damn. So you're not physically stronger than a man. Keep your hands to yourself. Keep your hands to yourself. I feel like the only time you should hit a man is when your life is in danger or you feel threatened, like he's going to do something, cause you imminent harm. Other than that, keep your hands to yourself. So for me, it backfired because I was Team Sweetie until I seen the video and I told my daughter and I discussed with my co-host, I'm like, oh, she looked like a toxic female. Like you got some females that's just toxic. You know what I'm saying? Like they wanna argue with you and they wanna fight with you. So that's what I got from the video because to me he had bags. He looked as if he was trying to leave and she didn't want him to leave. Then you publicly made a statement that was a year ago. So that means you stayed. So you wasn't too hurt.
Yeah, no, that was over. It was over and done with. You forgave me. Y'all moved on now.
Right.
Once the public gets behind, that's the problem.
Who was the football player that had punched his girlfriend in the
Ray
other?
Rice.
It wasn't a Ray Rice situation.
No, yeah, that was different.
He was a
Ray Rice was totally
yeah, he was an abuser. He
not only from knocking her out, he dragged her out. Like he dragged her out.
Yeah,
It's definitely not fair.
It wasn't that situation because I seen him. He was an abuser. You could tell he be tearing her up.
A lot of females want to be so toxic. Why they love to be?
I don't think all females toxic. All females not toxic.
Not to change the subject, but the situation just happened last week when we saw on social media that a female was driving a car and ran over.
Oh, that was funny.
That was hilarious.
I don't think it's hilarious. That's not hilarious.
The chick ran over the bull.
Ran over the bull.
Where was this?
This
This is a Philly.
This is a Philly. Yeah.
Dude was like, I dare you type, I dare you, and she did it. I just think a lot of girls in that situation emotionally hot. Whatever the backstory is, the emotional charge, I think a lot of girls will.
I think I would have ran him over, but I wouldn't.
They're arguing.
What would he do for her to run?
I'm not saying it's okay. I just think that a lot of females will do it in that situation.
Right.
Whatever the argument was, emotionally, however it was.
Like my freedom.
Right. Yeah, but in that moment, you're not thinking.
Right.
In that moment, you're most people.
No,
maybe not you.
If I'm upset, first of all.
So that goes back to the fighting situation. When you upset, you might go ahead and start going off on the guy.
Yeah.
No.
I think that's probably
that situation. You got to look at the situation. The guy was just standing there. From my understanding, the person that posted the video was like, she told him, like, he basically dared her to run him over. Mm-hmm. They were arguing. It looked like he was taunting her and thought she wouldn't do it. She backed up. She did it. My only thing is, damn dog, you ain't have to run his legs over. I probably would have knocked him down.
You don't have no legs now?
She ran over his legs. No, he good. He posted after. He walked after.
He got
posted after like the damage right here. But listen, he walked.
That's why I was surprised. I think your legs is going. You get hit by a car. That's why I'm not gonna play a stupid game like dare you to run me over. Like yeah, all right. Or if I do it, he ain't even trying to get out the way. It's like he probably thought she
ran over from the front tires.
Yeah, he tripped.
And then the back tires.
Come on.
But she was going like 2 miles an hour.
Well, she was in a Nissan or something. Oh, it really was a Nissan.
No, it was like one of the little compact cars. Yeah. But still.
Yeah. No, this.
Do we got the battery for the camcorder today?
No charger.
I think I can't figure out how to say it. Toxicity has become so natural where it's like if a girl is taunting you and she in her car, I think the natural thing for her to do is she go run you over there. I just think it's become so normalized.
Again, so when do you think about the consequences?
After you
that's
drop
why I
off.
teach chess. I want people to think about. That's literally the reason why. It's like you would have took a beat and thought about that. It's like, nah, I get you told me. Maybe I come close, or maybe I just tap you like she said.
Yeah,
She ran her all the way over.
I'm not even trying to tap you. I'm not even trying to attempt that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that ever.
I'm not doing that. I'm walking away from the situation.
I think it is, and I think that's the danger with social media and seeing this stuff constantly over and over and over and over. You be like, all right, that's the norm. Everybody does that. So it's like the bar is low as shit because if everybody is doing it, can you curse? All right, like the bar is low, so everybody can. It's like, all right, well I see this out there.
For y'all too is the masses. Everybody follow what everybody else
Absolutely.
is doing.
But why though?
That's
Natural
we
is
don't know that.
it's the
See, for me,
why.
if you talk about toxicity and why everybody follow the masses, I think for me it goes back to like how people raise. Like how people raise, I feel like people are easily influenced. Like, why do you teach chess? Why do you teach young people to think? Why did you choose that? Because you have a career, so you didn't. So like for me, like I know my daughter, she's a regular person. Like she's a regular young 19-year-old young woman. But it's certain things I already know she's not going to do because I raised her a certain type of way. I give her scenarios, real life scenarios, so she can, when she's in those situations, make the right choice. So it's not to say that she won't follow things that's current and things that's trending on social media, but she has an opinion. She knows what's toxic. She knows what's corny. She knows what's inappropriate. She knows what's not to do. But I think we got a lot of young people that's raising themselves. And these young people grow up to be teenagers, then adults. Like, so the generation we looking at, the 20, 25, 30, early 30s, the streets raised them.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Like,
even before us. Streets raised us for the most part.
But we
The 8-year-old
our
little
community
girl
was
the other day,
different.
The 8-year-old little girl that was missing from West Philadelphia, they found her in North Philadelphia, and then they say she was arguing with her mom 1:30 in the morning.
Why?
8 years old. Why are you arguing with your mom?
Right.
Why was she allowed to even
Right.
argue with
Yeah, I
her
never heard of
mom?
that.
Why was she even
But what
allowed
about
to
the
leave
11-year-old?
So she was arguing with her mom and ran away?
No, it was a cousin took her down North Philly.
Did she run away or her cousin came and picked her up like I'm gonna get you
I
out
don't
the house?
know.
Okay.
But what annoyed me is that she was arguing.
Yeah, that's not even
Who
heard.
argues at 8 because she wouldn't have no teeth.
Yeah. So in 2021 though, you going to
I don't
jail.
know.
That might have been a news.
Shit, the mom might be 25.
No, you
Right.
knocking her teeth out in 2021 would have been a story.
My
It would've
mom
been
told
all
me,
about
the
mom.
mom
Like,
might- the mom
I'm
might
about
be
to be
25
50.
years
I
old.
told you know what my mom told me? I brought you in this
I'll
world
take
and
you
I'll
out.
take you out.
Right.
Like, but you can't do that today.
That's
No, why?
all.
Because the kids got the leverage to say,
Why
I'm
can't
gonna
you?
call
Because I was
DHS.
if I would have knocked
No,
mine out, I would
everybody
have knocked mine out.
Everybody
Yeah,
got
but-
access.
Right.
Everybody got
Right.
access to report you.
That's
and
true.
stuff and all
That's
that
true.
stuff.
But okay, so I got 10-year-olds. They rated me 10. Who are you calling? Because you what you got in this house is good. Nobody's physically harming you. No one's raping you. No one's touching you inappropriate. You eat whatever you want, whenever you want. You can get whatever you want. So who exactly are you
I
calling?
would say it's like 25% of, I would
because
say,
they
and
don't
I'm gonna
have
say
the
Philadelphia.
reality.
25%, we have 25% parents because the rest of them are not parents. They want to be their kids' friends.
Right, right.
The 11-year-old, I'm listening to his dad. I felt so bad for his dad. I started crying. Then I seen the video of him with the money and the gun.
I think Ron was talking about that.
There was another year-old.
You talking about he's gonna
11-year-old
be,
that
the
got killed a
church
couple
is gonna
weeks
be
ago.
missed, the seat is gonna not be filled, and the women not gonna be helped in the house with the
Oh wait a
baby.
minute. Oh wait. Time out. You talking about the 11-year-old got killed,
Yes.
and then you saw the video. The video.
Of his, I seen his dad crying
Right.
because he want justice.
Right.
How you want justice? Then on the Instagram video, the little boy got piles of money
Right.
and a gun. How he got a gun big as him?
All right. Can I ask you a question? What does one thing have to do with the other?
And his
Specifically, only because not. Yeah. Go ahead. Answer that.
See, you said you're.
I
Let me
teach
answer
chess.
the question
Go
first.
ahead.
You said you teach chess. So these kids love what they see out in the streets.
Right.
Absolutely.
They follow what they see.
Mhm.
Is that a good thing? No, because I would be monitoring my kid at 11 on social media, so it wouldn't even get that
Get
far.
up there.
But that dad looked like he was old enough to know
How old was the dad?
I don't know, but
Right.
he looked like.
Let's
So
give him
just,
25, 30 or something.
Oh wow.
I'm just.
we just got, but
Okay.
he's.
Well, not
Don't
25,
come.
like 35.
I'm not going to come.
Okay, so wait, I'll go back to what Rock, not to cut you off, because Rock asked a specific question, and I want to say he was basically saying, do he deserve less justice because he was out there?
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
all
he
I
was
was
trying to get
It's
at.
like,
No.
I get he's probably not an angel, and that doesn't justify
But you
him being
painted
killed.
that picture.
Okay,
Or
no, that's the that means the energy you put out there. That's why I definitely. I'm not saying that energy you put out there is not a problem. That 100% I agree with that.
Can you imagine
But-
him helping?
He's still 11 at the end of the day. I mean, I don't know.
An 11-year-old should not know
Absolutely.
what that type of gun or that cash flow.
So the parents failed him.
100%. That's where the blame.
Yeah.
That's where the blame goes at.
The
It's nothing
parents
about
felt-
no 11-year-old.
I'm not even worried about
Right,
him because
right.
he's 11. He shouldn't have been made privy to everything
Right.
he had going on.
I agree with that 100%.
And that's a shame because I just listened to the mom of the 21-year-old. It's like she tried, and she ain't say she ain't put him on no pedestal. I tried to keep him busy. I tried to do this, but we don't know what our kids doing when they outside.
That's a fact.
Right. Okay, so I was telling Ryan about Derrick Jackson and just the whole cheating scandal that was going on with their situation.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually the topic that Rock came to discuss. And the reason being is because he had posted a video of Derrick Jackson's wife, and in the video, you know,
I shared it. Yeah, in my
he
story.
had shared it in his story, and he wrote on there that's dope for her or something like that.
Yeah,
So
I said
was
she
like,
dope for that.
right. So I commented and I was like, that's bullshit. And you know, he was like, how so? So that's why I was like, okay, that was a trending topic. I wanted to get him on so we could discuss that. Since then, though, more information has came out. So I want to know, like, since then, has your opinion changed on the Derrick Jackson situation?
No, not from the standpoint of my initial comment where she was dope.
Okay.
And the reason why I said she was dope was for how she handled it publicly, and it's like to everybody else it was news. So in case you don't know, Derrick Jackson, his wife, I guess he's a relationship guru. If
Right.
you want to use that word. He got court. Well, actually, not even he got court. Some information came out about him cheating with a couple females. But it was a year old, like you just gave Shorty the out. It was a year old, and his wife was already informed about it. They already dealt with it. He came back. So with all that context and them having to publicly speak on it, I said she was dope for that. I felt like she exercised strength and being able to sit there with her husband while he admit to the world, because I think that's a woman's worst fear, having to publicly address them being disrespected like that. And I thought she was dope. Yeah. And then looking through her page further, I see that she's been going through this for a long time as far as dealing with whatever she's dealing with in her relationship. I feel like she's been dealing with this without the public's eye. Now when you know the public's looking at it, you look back at her page, you say, oh no, this is not new to her. She understood what was going on in this relationship, and this is the way, sadly, I mean, it's the way she carried it. So I thought she was dope for that. You know.
I think she was wet.
Why? Speak.
Wait, but what he Ryan,
your
you
I
didn't
didn't,
see
no,
it.
I
Wait,
didn't understand
hold
that.
on.
She didn't break all that down at first. And what you just said, I agree with Rock on that one right there.
Now
Okay,
explain
so-
why you said she was corny. And,
She was definitely corny.
okay.
Wasn't nothing dope about that. Not to mention you
What part
had
was
to
the
watch the
weed?
video.
What's corny or what's dope?
What I didn't, okay, so when his wife publicly addressed everything, one, when they did the video together, she looked a hot mess, Crystal.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
She looked a hot mess.
So now we
wait,
examining how she looked. But why does that? How she looked has nothing to do with anything.
You a male, right? You a man, so your perspective is different. We women, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your husband, you know, we talking about Derrick Jackson situation. Your husband been cheating with all these video vixens, so to speak, right? Because that's how they look. BBLs, big boobs, all that. You get on camera and you look a hot mess. You got baggy sweatpants on, a t-shirt, no bra on, titties sitting on your lap with a bonnet on your head. You're out of pocket. That's one. That's one, yes. Let's go back. Your husband has 1.3 million followers on social media. Why are you looking like that?
Can I say something?
I'm not saying she has to fit society's standards of beauty.
You actually
What
are
I'm saying,
saying
no, this is not, I'm not. That's my race. I'm not. What I'm saying is, whether you believe in fitness society standards of beauty or not, you still must always look presentable, clean, and cute.
Odessa.
She looked the best.
Can I say something?
Yes,
Now, I didn't
please.
see the video. I didn't.
Here's how she looked. I had to pull it up.
She looked the best.
See,
I just want to elaborate on what Odessa said. And me working in the mental health field, you don't know what she's meant to.
Oh wait, I'm
No,
not
listen,
done.
no, listen,
Let us finish.
you said, Odessa, let me finish.
Was that one point? But you,
Hold
you
on.
but
No,
you saying
listen.
that, but you didn't hear all my points. Hold on,
Bad.
hold on,
Hold
because
yourself.
I never
One
even
second.
got to
Finish
why
that
you
point.
said she was dope in the actual
I
video
got
you posted.
You just started
right?
with that. That was just an aside. I got you.
And I feel like something is mentally wrong with her. I feel like she's crying out for help. Maybe he's mentally or physically abusing her. But what I seen was a broken woman on that video.
Well,
Now, that was my opinion.
Okay.
Because I'm a woman. I know how it feels to sit there and act like everything is okay. But mentally you're breaking inside. He looks like he was like a dominant control freak. I'm not going to say he looked like a physical abuser, but he looks like a mental abuser because I've been there, done it.
Yeah, that sounded like to the point when she was
But
just
yeah,
about to make
Right, but that's why I
it.
didn't even finish. We was discussing that.
No, we all got. I'm just saying to the
Then
point.
wait, I want
Oh, go ahead.
third
Another
point.
one.
After that, because you need to hear all because
I get you the full context.
right. We know we seen the situation. She doesn't know anything about the situation. You haven't watched any of the videos, so you have to watch the videos to kind of understand, right? Then after that, more information came out. They are a part of a church. Because I told you, it seemed like she was in a cult. I said that to him.
Before
I said that she looked like she lost in the head and she's in a cult, right? Couple days later, a video came up where this was the priest that was getting the devil out. He was sprinkling people with holy water because the devil was making her suck somebody. Like it was one of those cult type churches. I can't say what I want to say but when you look at the video, they were a part of like a cult like church. A faith is shaky because I said it seemed cult like. It seemed like it was like a zombie like the devil made him do that. This is the blood of Jesus, like Miss.
Yeah,
And this is how she responded. And I felt like she responded cult like, only to see videos where they like sprinkling the Holy Ghost on people and
That was on Instagram. That all came out later. I ain't know
right, but wait, right, with all due respect, before that came out, did I not say
You did say it was like
cult
Pope,
like?
yeah, some shit.
I believe in God. I have faith. I hate people that zombie like when it comes to spirituality. Something wasn't right
So
with
your
that
main thing
video.
is like you just leaning too
Right,
much on
something
on
wasn't
their faith,
right.
and it's like, no, that's too much.
So again, now I don't even want to say what I want to say because y'all done brought the code.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's
really
more.
not.
It's way more to the
It's
story.
not. With her, that particular church they're a part of, the church was making the woman. He was telling the woman she was sucking dick. Like, oh, it's.
Oh, I ain't gonna.
You ain't never
that.
see that. He was
No.
like, get the dick out your mouth, man. And
The
he
church?
was. I'm right
Derek Jackson.
Give it to me so I
No,
can.
was Derek Jackson a part of it, or just part of that church?
He's part of the
The
church.
cult,
He wasn't
okay.
there when
So
the
he just speaking to the
right,
psyche
you know,
of that church.
Right, the psyche.
Okay.
You know them preachers that
Wow,
he was
I
like,
ain't know that, though. That's
yeah,
crazy.
he was like, it's.
Now go back. Can I say something?
Yeah,
For
go
real.
ahead.
Now honestly, going back, because social media is a good thing and a bad thing.
It is.
Absolutely.
Because we put up these things,
Mhm.
and then somebody's gonna follow that and think it's cool.
Right.
Like that's for me. When I first listened prior to breaking,
You gotta watch the
interrupted
videos.
Odessa, I would have said she's mentally going through something, and then you said you further went through her pain. But to get into the cult thing, that's another ball.
I
game.
That all
She-
speak
no,
to
no, no.
mental illness,
But I
though,
do
when you
think
get
she's
there.
mentally-
I mean,
All
all
of
of
them, including
Anybody in the
the
cult, yeah, exactly. Anybody
Including
involved in
the
this cult, you
Yeah.
had something that somebody prayed on.
Why would you want that to be exploited?
You had a weakness that somebody
The
prayed
world
on.
is old now, but you know, I didn't see a dope woman. What I seen was a broken woman. What I seen was a woman that was easily manipulated. I felt like her husband was manipulating her. But then when I seen further video of what church she was a part of, I'm like, okay, because she's broken, this is why she is so vulnerable.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that the church took advantage of her, and then he's saying, okay, my wife like this. This will keep my wife up. Let me join this church. Because she like, oh, you. So once I seen everything, I'm like, yo, I couldn't believe that they was a part of this church. I'm going to send you the video too afterwards so you can see it. Like the pastor that they follow is like cuckoo.
But just to see what we assume, because he posted it and said she's dope until you further investigate it.
Hey, that was deep.
Yeah, like he was taking the double out of people. You ever been to
a lot of
church
people
where
don't
they taking
read,
the double
a lot
out
of
of
people
people?
don't
Right,
read
right.
So, but we quick to repost or
Right,
we
right,
quick to
right.
without looking
Until we-
further.
So that's
Exactly.
fact.
Can
Or I think that's a perfect thing. That's a perfect explanation of people's message don't actually have to align with the messenger. Like people, and I think that was
That's
the
what I
bigger
wanted
that
to-
was the
okay,
bigger story
right,
with Derrick
right.
Jackson.
That's
It was the fact that
right,
people
and
look
that's
at it
what
the
I wanted to
hypocrisy
touch.
of
Okay,
him.
that's what I wanted to touch on. Do you feel as though this is a good one? Do you feel as though social media influencers are hypocrites and aren't living the life that they necessarily preach about?
I would say more than
okay.
more than 50%.
Okay.
I would say higher than that, but I would
Higher
say
than that.
I would say it's not. I would say you look at it as nothing but a business. So nothing different than a newscaster.
Is there
I'm
exceptions for that or no?
What you mean? Is there exceptions?
Okay, so my nonprofit ain't up and running, but I do know that I want a nonprofit for
Public service is
right?
different. That's different.
Right.
Public
Okay.
service.
So
That's not the
let's
same as
take
social
Derrick
media.
Jackson. Derrick Jackson on his profile, it was so we'll use him as an example. It was healthy relationship coach, healthy relationship expert. Right.
No, wait a
so
minute.
You don't
I
think
can
that was him?
No. Listen, because I'm an expert in something does not mean that I have to be the one taking this advice. Now listen. That speaks to the message and not the messenger.
Okay.
Now I didn't dig it. I didn't see
Okay.
all of his posts. A lot of the stuff that I saw, he was attacking men, but he was. But from the women's perspective that was eating it up, a lot of it was like, no, he's speaking facts, even if he's speaking about himself. It's like he sees how to get the bag and what pulls at women's drawstrings, even if it's contradictory to who he actually is.
So
that's
it
why I said
was-
it's the message,
okay.
not the messenger.
Right. The message was accurate, but the
That's
messenger
it right there. Everything after the butt is bullshit. That's what I've been raised on. Everything after the butt is bullshit.
Not lying.
No, I think it's being hypocritical.
No, I don't think it's
hypocritical.
hypocritical. I'm selling something.
True.
Who said I'm selling?
His money.
Okay, so this is so then it gets back to it. This is why I dislike this man so much, right? So he's saying, I get what he's saying, and I do agree with that. Like, okay, I'm selling the message, right? So who I am in my business may not necessarily align with what I do in my personal life. That's my business, right? That's why we got this podcast, because I feel like people see the business side of me, but they don't know the personal side of me. I'm a regular person. And sometimes I want to curse. I want to drink. I want to do regular things. Like, I can do all these things. But for me, what the hell was I ready to say about Derrick Jackson? I lost my train of thought.
Ain't nobody interrupt you.
I forgot. It was
But
something
I
about
just think it's a clear difference between a public servant not being what they're portraying and somebody that's entertaining or giving some information and may not be living that way. I think it's different from being a public servant. A public servant that's secretly stealing money from the community or something like that.
Oh,
go ahead.
Derrick Jackson, not the country. Okay, so
No,
Derrick
I was trying to jog it off.
Derrick Jackson, right? On top of, being a relationship expert, I don't know if you are aware or you've seen it. He would, let's say we had famous black celebrities in the news for cheating on their wives, high profile cases. He would, give his expert opinion on that. For me, all I seen was another black man trying to make money and in the process tearing down another black man. And I feel like that to me was unacceptable, considering it turns out you was a cheater too. So you took all these high profile black men, because he ain't never do a video on a Caucasian man.
Because that's not his demographic.
So for me, I think Derrick Jackson is whack. I knew he was whack from the rip, and that's why I really didn't. I seen his videos; they were on point, they were accurate, but you was whack. Like, cause why are you tearing down another black man?
So is that where that comment come from? Black men don't cheat.
That's where the comment came from.
No, that didn't come from him.
It come from him.
No, look, the rapper dude did that at first. The funny dude. Black men don't cheat. What the hell is his name? What is his
He had
name?
the shirt.
No, but I think it came. I don't know where it originated from, but I saw it from the
we don't have a topic. We don't have time for that.
Yeah, but go ahead. But yeah, no. I just think he's selling something, and all that stuff plays into that character he's portraying online. I'm going. The demographic that he's speaking to is vulnerable black women So he's using black men as an example, not white men, but don't care.
Right.
So I just think he's selling something. That's all along with
I would say
that.
vulnerable women, period.
Yeah, I said vulnerable black women, but yeah, I think that's probably the majority of his demographic is probably black, but maybe not.
On the news, social media, they said you get what are them spam people that request you and everything.
Yeah.
And they had it on the news last week, but majority of them was white women giving money to people they don't even know.
Yeah, they need to give me something. I don't know. Yeah.
Like so, it's like
donations.
It's vulnerable women. Period. A lot of people want to be needed.
No, you're right. That's the Steve Harvey lane.
Okay, so do you think? Okay, so what's your opinion? Do you think that a lot of influencers are hypocrites?
So you say the majority of influencers are hypocrites based on what though? What are you basing that information on?
This is off the conversation that me and her had.
No, I'm saying the influencers. All right, so we say we got this. Let's look at 100 influencers.
Yeah, like
let's look at
most influencers are hypocrites. Like, do you think they full of shit?
I believe some are. Yes.
Some is not the same as most. So
not most. I believe it's like 50%.
Based on what though? Is it like, do you know them personally? Do you see other information that come out about them, or just because of your distrust of?
I believe I know some of them.
Okay.
I know the background of some of them.
Okay, so give your personal opinion.
They just full of shit.
All right, so if we're looking at 100 influencers, you might know personally 5. That's not the majority.
Okay, so do the ones that you know personally make you feel like okay? I feel like a lot of influencers though are full of shit.
I do too. I'm just challenging why you think that. I want to hear it. I can tell you why.
What is it? 444. Jay-Z when he did the video, not the song, but when he did a vaccine video with all the celebrities that came out and spoke about their infidelities and all these different things.
Right.
So it's really good.
You seen it?
I didn't see that.
Oh, you guys see it. It's a lot of people, a lot of celebrities.
Yeah,
that's dope.
But it took him to say what he did first for everybody now.
Well, I think that's different. Like one of the things that what I will say is one of the things I always felt like business is personal. What I do in my personal life, I'm not privy to let you know. I don't have to let you know because.
But that made him money.
No.
That generated income.
No. Right. We wrote a book about it. We wrote a book about our personal story. But what I'm saying is, I don't have to tell you my personal story, but I don't have to walk around and be a fraud. I don't have to walk around and be a fraud, right? So let's just say you find out, damn, Augusta, you did X, Y, Z. I'm gonna say but it ain't none of your, or mind your fucking business, because it's none of your business. But I don't feel as though you can walk around being a hypocrite. Like I understand what you're saying, but I feel like for me, and I guess it's about like what you're trying to evolve into becoming. When I put my first book out, I didn't want to be a walking hypocrite, right? So the areas in my life that I had to fix, I fixed. Like I knew I had some fucked up ways about me. I knew I had some things that I had to correct. So I wanted to improve on them to become a better person. So me personally, being honest, I want people around my kids, and I want people around me that's genuine. You don't have to necessarily show the public everything, but I need you to be genuine and authentic, because if you ain't authentic, I can't trust you. So I'm okay with you not putting all your business out there in the public. I think that it ain't for the public.
Right.
But be authentic, because if you can't be authentic with me, I can't trust anything else that comes out your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not obligated to put all your personal business out there. It's none of nobody's business, but don't be fraudulent with it.
But the number one thing on social media is facade.
Right.
Yeah,
but I think that it trickles down into people personal life.
Because
when you drove our whole era.
When you get home and by yourself, like, damn, how can I continue this?
Because fake it till you make it has driven our whole era. That was a legit thing. You see them doing on everybody on social media is faking it till they actually make it. They want to look like money, even if they don't have none.
So we are wrapping it up at Books, Business, and Bullshit. I want to thank Rock for coming out, and I want you to share how people can get in contact with you. I also want to thank Crystal for coming out. After Rock share, please briefly describe how people can get in contact with you and anything y'all may have coming up in the future. On
IG, you can find me at Rock Uncut if you just want to, pick my brain, being, not business stuff. For my chess businesses, Chess in a Minute, all one word, Chess Chat. We run a Chess Chat program every Sunday at the Urban Art Gallery in West Philly. You can find that information on my chess page, Chess Chat. That's pretty much it. That's all.
Crystal Beanie on Facebook. I'm Crystal at her best on Instagram. And do I have any upcoming events? No, but I am looking forward to opening up my business, which is a recovery house for women in recovery. Coming soon.
Nice.
That's personal.
Oh, since I want to bring it up, I have less than 30 days to be 50 years old. Woo! So it's going to
Like,
be
don't crack.
amazing at all. Nope. I have a child that's 33 and 25. What? Listen, I'm going to live my blessed life.
Yes,
All right.
yes.